Welcome to our first video for creating artwork with your power animal, spirit animal, any kind of animal medicine that comes up for you. The first animal that I drew through Carrie Hart's Power Animals Unleashed was the giraffe, wanting to partner with me right now. So I'm going to use the giraffe in my demonstrations. I printed off 3 or 4 different pictures. I have this little baby giraffe. I have another little baby giraffe. Maybe that's important that the babies are calling me. And these fun little giraffes with their expressions. And this is the one I'm going to use for the first exercise for the LIGHTBOX method. And these are all just ways that, especially if you are afraid of drawing or you're afraid of what kind of art you're going to produce, this is just a way to ease you into it until you feel more comfortable doing more abstract things. So I just have, I have this little mixed media Canson pad that I got at Walmart, which is the main store in our little town. And I also have this watercolor pad. These were like $6 each, so not a huge investment. You are welcome to use any kind of paper you like, although I do suggest that you use something that is thicker. You can see down at the bottom, think of the watercolor pad. You can see down at the bottom it says 140 pounds. That is the weight of the paper. And that will ensure that, you know, the paper doesn't buckle so much when you're using it. It gives a lot more flexibility. So the first thing I'm going to show you, and I'm just going to show you using a window up here. All right, so I'm going to take my paper up to the window here. I think you can see me. I'm putting my printout underneath, putting my paper on top, and I'm just aligning it with wherever I want the image to be. So I'm kind of aligning it so that he's going to come off from the left, and then I'm just going to go through and trace my animal. And you can put in whatever details you want. You can leave it as loose as you want. You can, you know, make thick lines. You could just do rough lines, and then when you come back to your table, you can thicken the lines. And then I'm just looking by picking the paper up and checking to see what lines I need to adjust. And then I am going to leave that, I think. And here's what I've got. So very simple from this paper. You can do it with any animal, any printout. And then from here, I am just going to add to the creature I have here on my paper. So the next thing I'm going to do with this little tracing that I have done, rough tracing, is that I am going to start to add color to it. And you can do so many different things. This is where you let your intuition and your creativity run. The most important thing is not to do anything that you don't feel excited about. You know, if I were going to get into drawing lots of details and trying to make this photorealistic, I wouldn't really be excited about it. Not because there's anything wrong with photorealism, but because for me, it's not really fun. I get kind of bored. So what I like to do, and which I am going to honor, is to play with color. I pulled out 3 or 4 different little craft paints here. I've got a yellow and orange and kind of a metallic copper. Because those felt like fun colors to play with. I also have these water-soluble oil pastels, which are the Portfolio series. Super affordable, I think like $10 for a full set. You can order them on Amazon, etc. You could play with watercolors, you could play with pen and ink, you could play with crayons. It does not have to be complicated, and it does not have to be expensive. So really tune into what you want to play with and what materials will allow you to let go enough to really work with the energetic piece. So here we go. So I have completed my first little piece of art. This is my giraffe. You can see the outlines. I just used a Sharpie for the outlines when I was tracing. And then I went back and I started off with my water-soluble oil pastels. I colored in some rough spots with the brown, then filled in with the yellow. And then I went back with my acrylic paints and I just started to dab some yellow paint over some of the yellow spots, dab some of the dark copper and orange, just using my fingers, dabbing around. And when I was complete with that, I added a background, and all I did for the background was take these colors that I've pulled out, use my water-soluble oil pastels, and the goal was to have fun, to feel the energy of my animal, which for me, I was really feeling into the playful pose and the smile that's going on here. I was really feeling that lightness, and so I was tapping into that as I added some acrylic paint with my fingers. I used my spray bottle. This is a $1 spray bottle from Walmart again. Sprayed it to make the background paint easier to spread. And then you can see I added some scribbles, some orange and yellow and pink scribbles with the oil pastels. So that is my first little piece of art. Super simple. I can't wait to see what you create. This was my original printout. I put it up to the window, let the light come through using the LIGHTBOX technique to trace an outline, and then I had fun. And that's your goal too. See you soon.